In the honor, George Soteropoulos, appearing with on behalf of Robert Jones.
Long time no see.
Long time no see. I think 1484 is the last time when you were over there. Is the last time I saw you.
I think you're right. Have been catching you on
YouTube though.
Like with everybody, I run and hide. But no, I said to my staff when they told me, I said, well, look what the cat drew.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, today's the date and time for sentencing. Mr. Jones and I have reviewed the pre-sentence report. We've also reviewed the GPS tether report submitted, and there are no additions, corrections noted. We do have one request, however.
Hang on one second. Sure. You're talking a GPS. Is there a violation report?
It's not. It's I have a copy of it.
I have a progress report.
I'm sorry, a progress report.
Okay, go ahead.
We do have a request though with respect to the tether. We're not standing here before the court asking that he not continue on the tether, but we're requesting that some addresses be added onto the travel path. He is co-parenting his 11-year-old daughter. The mother does not have her license. She actually appeared before this court, I believe, a few weeks ago. Tony Malone. I don't know if that name rings a bell or not, Your Honor.
No, it doesn't.
It includes the child's residence as well, and his place of employment.
When did that happen?
Your Honor, he's been it's more of a side job there. It's he's a boxing coach there. He does personal training there.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. I'll let you finish, and I'll tell you what I've got to say. Because
that I've addressed the addresses. We would respectfully ask the court to add to the travel path with respect to the recommend.
Well, so that you know, I cut the travel path entirely out. And I did that because he shouldn't be on. Okay. Every time I get here with Mr. Jones, I get something new. And the last time that we were here, either last time or time before that, he had indicated that he had an apartment. He, in fact, gave us a date. Well, he didn't give us a date. He gave Community Corrections a date that he was moving in. And so in trying to carve out, I did something very unusual in that because he is not supposed to be in Ann Arbor, Saline, or Pittsfield Township. So I carved out a specific roadway that he could travel. His reasons, the reasons given for that was because that's where his daughter resided. Also, the reason was because he was going to be working in Kent. He was getting his employment transfer. Then find out, he reports to Community Corrections that he no longer has the apartment, which I wasn't clear on what happened there, but that he wasn't moving in.
And not to interrupt the court, I could address that when the court's ready as to why.
And then, then I just closed that whole way in and just told him he could not be in Ann Arbor, Saline, or Pittsfield Township. Said nothing before ever about specific addresses, never said anything. That to me is as much a surprise as.
Oh, it goes into the address first for his daughter, Your Honor, if I may.
Pardon?
With respect to the address for his daughter, he had the apartment ready to go. He was incarcerated for 8 days. There, Mr. Amadeo handled the bond hearing for Your Honor. He was released on tether. The apartment was no longer available to Mr. Jones once he was released. So that's why he's not residing there, but his daughter is residing there. I did receive, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Had he deposited funds for the apartment? I mean, I don't know how that would occur. Because he specifically told us his move-in date.
He was supposed to sign paperwork, and I believe the paperwork that he was supposed to sign, he was still incarcerated, so was not able to meet that deadline and then released the apartment. Is that correct, Mr. Jones?
And he lost the deposit.
And he lost the deposit.
That was never even mentioned, and it isn't contained on the as employment on the on his pre-sentence report.
Your Honor, he just did not bring that up to Mr. Odell about that. Communication from Ms. Malone with these addresses. I spoke to Mr. Jones about this. He indicated she does not drive, and they have a 50-50 parenting schedule where he would have the daughter 1 week on, 1 week off. And because she doesn't have a license, he's primarily responsible for driving the child to her appointments, to school, to her extracurricular activities. And that's why I brought up to this court, the exceptions we would ask the court to make.
Ms. Valera,
Yes, Your Honor.
where did I have in my file a letter or something from Heather Moon?
Yes, Your Honor, there was provided an updated victim statement.
Got it.
And I received that as well.
You have.
I have, and I've shared it with Mr. Jones, Your Honor. And Your Honor, with respect to the rest of the recommendation, there is no objection to the other terms and conditions of the recommendation. It's just these addresses that we're asking the court to grant him.
How many addresses are we talking?
May I approach, Your Honor?
Well,
With these, I mean,
yeah, but I mean, how many are there?
we have one, two, three, four, five addresses, Your Honor.
That would be within the no-go-to zone.
They're
Do I have, let's deal with the employment thing first.
sure.
Do I have anything that indicates he's employed there, even part-time side job, anything? Because that has not been reported to probation.
So he has nothing with him today, Your Honor. He's a 1099 worker. I would ask the court that we have a review hearing in September. I think perhaps that would be the ideal time. Perhaps he can bring that back to Your Honor to show.
Well, but you're asking me for an exception to the exclusion zone.
Well, I'm asking for the exception for those, including the employment, but he doesn't have any proof of employment today. So if Your Honor, if he doesn't have anything today and the court wants to address the employment in September, we could do that, or he can provide that to probation. I'm sure tomorrow he can provide that to probation, a copy of the 1099.
Is there a court order regarding parenting?
They do not have a court order, Your Honor. All I have is communication from Ms. Malone. And Your Honor, I just became aware of this right when I walked in. I believe the daughter walked in prior to this case being called. I mean, she's here. I mean, I don't want to have an 11-year-old come up here, but I don't know how the court wants to, as far as any proof or verification.
Ms. Polari, you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to state, when I did the PSI with Mr. Jones on July 1st, the only income for employment, I should say, that you mentioned to me, those were the only employment. That's all he indicated to me when I met with him on July 1st. So there was no other gym or anything else that he was working on.
Your Honor, I didn't get a copy of any of these addresses. So this is the first I'm hearing about this on the record. So I haven't had a chance to do my due diligence and check things out either, just for.
Yeah, okay, because.
And I apologize. I just received you.
I'm sure.
The problem that I'm having is that I'm really not clear what to believe with Mr. Jones. I'm just not. I mean, because frankly, during the course of the trial, I don't think he was telling the truth. When he came back up here, I don't think he was telling the truth. It's very clear to me that with certainly the women that were involved, he wasn't telling the truth. And now I get, we at one point have a picture of things that then change to another picture of something. And now we come here and, you know, I get it, counsel, but I'm now with the third attorney.
Understood, Your Honor.
And I have now a different picture.
Understood. I guess the only thing I could offer is the one person that perhaps could verify it, Ms. Malone, who's not here today, and with the court's permission, perhaps proceed with sentencing, and then I motion it up in front of the court and bring Ms. Malone in, or Ms. Malone could talk to Mr. Benak and communicate to the court. I'm just not sure how to. I'm going to leave it to the court's discretion how to handle this, but all I do is I received a text message with a copy of addresses from Miss Malone indicating these are the addresses. This is what the daughter.
Miss Monty.
Thank you, Your Honor. Perhaps at this time, as defense counsel suggested, the people would also request that we move forward and make no changes to the tether today. Have faith in Ms. Pilara to communicate to the court if she's able to get sufficient documentation, and maybe things could be changed later.
I guess that's one way of proceeding. I mean, I guess
The people also share the court's concerns because of the history of the case, the defendant's history before this court. And also it is the middle of July. So the concern about, these school addresses being communicated. I understand that the defendant is being recommended for a 24-month term of probation. So eventually these children will be in school, but unless they're in summer school, they probably aren't right now.
Certainly the community mental health treatment is ongoing. I don't believe that's paused.
Okay. And again, with that, now I will say at least with that, while it wasn't specifically stated, there was some indication of some type of treatment. But I don't even know. Nothing's been provided, I don't think. Ms. Pilara, was anything provided to you regarding his transportation to?
Your Honor. Actually, I met with him, he was in custody, so, but he's not provided.
Your Honor, as prosecution noted, I will have, if the court would be satisfied, I would have Mr. Jones provide this information to probation.
All right. Okay. All right. Very well.
With respect,
Go ahead.
with respect to that, we have reviewed the pre-sentence report, Your Honor. We would ask the court to adopt the recommendation. Fines and costs, my client's asking for 2 weeks to pay the fines and costs. And I don't know if you want to hear from my client at this time, or if you want to hear from, I know the victims submitted a victim impact statement. I don't know if they want to address the court, but my client would like to.
Wish to address the court directly.
Their written statement is sufficient.
All right.
They are present, however, the written statement that they provided.
With the court's permission, my client has prepared a statement on his own. He'd like to read it to the court.
I stand before you today with deep remorse and regret for my actions. I sincerely apologize to the victims for the stress and harm I caused by my actions and my bad choices. I understand that my actions were hurtful, inappropriate, and caused unnecessary anxiety. I take full responsibility for my behavior, recognize that it had on the victims and their families. My actions were inexcusable, and I'm committed to making amends and ensuring that such behavior is not repeated. I'm truly sorry for the pain and disruption I've caused, and ask for the opportunity to demonstrate my genuine regret and commitment to a positive change.
I'm rather amazed by you. The best I can put it. That's not necessarily a good amazement. I mean, the way that you just use women is just I mean, just incredible to me. And I know that maybe Mr. Sarapos doesn't know this or not, but during the course of the trial, we were dealing with Mills, and then out of that, what gave rise to all of that was you being out with some other woman after having been involved with Mrs. Mills for about 3 years. Then we come for a bond hearing, I do believe it was, an emergency bond hearing, which was prompted by this other woman that supposedly you had a 7-year relationship with. She's in court. Somehow, it was very clear from the expression on her face that she got lied to about who Miss Mills was, because she was absolutely shocked. You could tell from her face. And so it just is extraordinary to me that you would do this to all of these people. Not only, I think, as Ms. Mills put in her statement, they just hurting their hearts and their emotions, but then just doing all of these things to these women, promising whatever. I don't even understand it, quite frankly. But you do that. If you remember, I told you, I can't trust you. I just can't trust you to do anything, because when you were on the stand, you were lying about what was going on then. And what is so hurtful to me in a lot of ways is that you're raising a daughter. Mr. Jones, if somebody were to do what you've done to these women, to your daughter, what would your reaction be?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, sir. Your Honor, I don't know. I would feel regret.
What?
Feel regret for that.
Regret?
Yes, that, maybe not give my daughter insight on looking out for people like myself.
Just regret?
Hurt.
Man, talk like a father. How would you feel? You heard that about your daughter. Talk like a father. How would you feel?
I would feel hurt and regret and anger. The best thing I can do is teach her to avoid kind of man a father is.
If you're raising a daughter, why would you act that way?
It's mental health, Your Honor.
I'm going to tell you what, it bothers me also that as bad as all of these women around you were treated by you, that when I posed that to you, reference your daughter,